You want them to have a plan. You want them to be saving money. You want them to be motivated and want to work because they're doing it for a reason, right? So my thought is that's a great way of retaining your good employees. The growing cost of healthcare is absolutely a big interest to employees today. An average day in a hospital is $9,000. Okay, an average surgery for a bursted appendix is $45,000. Going skiing could be an expensive thing, right? Knee and ligament surgery and care, $45,000. These are real numbers. These are numbers that today, if you don't have insurance, this is what's coming out of your pocket, or this is what the hospital is going after you for. If you don't pay a hospital within 45 days, they send out a collection notice. So if you're not paying for it, or you're not trying to help, talk to them about how to pay for it over a period of time, then they're ruining your credit. They're going after you for it. So my thought is that your key employees, you don't want them focused on the bad stuff. You want them focused on making you money. Okay? Retirement. One of the only things that I see on a daily basis is how much it costs to save money, or what it costs to save money, so at some point you'll have an accumulation. 35 years old, saving $10,000 a year, or $5 an hour, comes out to about $800,000 after 25 years. That gives you about $2,600 a month of income. So it takes 25 years to replace an income stream, right? If you wait till you're 45 years old, you have to save almost 3 times as much money to get to the same spot. So my thought is that if you already have 40% of the compensation is in benefits, this is a huge topic to be talking with your key people. Hey, not only are we going to be bidding on this work, but we're able to help. Let's get a goal. Let's get more of this work. What can we do to be profitable and to save money? Okay. So for as far as what's it cost to retire, for every $100,000 of savings, that generates about $4,000 a year of income. That is sustainable. Of course, you can take more out of it, but as far as being able to live on it for a long period of time, it takes $100,000 to save. Okay. Average emergency room visit costs $2,000. It's just interesting to me is that we need to save money, and there are risks out there. And your employees, they face it all the time. Lastly, and probably most importantly, is increasing profits. Our goal in business is to make money and to keep our profits. So let's focus on that for a second. First, in the pre-qualification of a contractor. What they're looking for when you qualify to bid on a job is they want to make sure that you have past work. They look at your financial statements. They look at how well you've done in past jobs. All that stuff comes into play. So we have to make sure that your profitability and your financial strength is your priority, is your main focus. Okay? If we can save you money doing benefit plans, my goal, that's what I do. I do financial consulting, but my long-term vision is to help contractors set up their company so it's profitable and help them accumulate money. And by doing that, you'll see if we're able to do something like this and save, on average, $6,050 per employee with 10 employees, that's $69,000 a year. $69,000 a year invested at 7% over 25 years is almost $4.5 million. Even of the most successful contractors, the ones that have been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years, this would be they'd say, wow, that'd be a great retirement plan. So if you're out there bidding on the work and you're getting it, then we need to take some time and focus on you. And believe me, this helps get your bonding, helps attract people. If you're successful, you attract successful people as well. So increasing profits, it's not all one thing, right? We've got to focus on a couple things. To get profit, we have to think about cash flow. We have to think about office efficiency. Marsha's going to talk about office efficiency. Okay? You have to think about bonding. You have to be the low bid, right? So not only be low bid, now you have to be in compliance. Next week is all about compliance. That's all we talk about is law. That's the one thing that can knock them out of the game the quickest, is not doing it right. Because the unions are out there looking for people that aren't doing it right. Nowadays, the entities are enforcing it. Caltrans, they enforce this stuff to the T, and they will go after you if you don't do it right. Department of Labor, Same thing. The colleges now, everybody is on cue. You can't get away with it anymore. And also employee retention. So these are some of the things that I see that can affect your profitability. If you're not paying attention to these things here, that's exactly all those things can reduce your ability to do work. So fringe benefit plans. One, you can lower your bid rate, increase cash flow. I'll talk about that for a second. The benefit part of the wage determination can be paid up to quarterly. So you might not get paid on a job right away. Maybe it takes you 30 days or 45 days or 60 days to get paid on a job. So all of your guys are out there working, all the money's going out, you have no money coming in. So as a general contractor, being able to not pay weekly on 40% of the total wage could be a big deal. It could be a lifesaver. And I've seen this actually really keep a couple companies going. It's because they couldn't go to the bank and get any more money. Now on the flip side of that, if you're a subcontractor, you have to be really careful. You want to make sure you communicate to your general contractor. Because the general contractors are the ones that are responsible even for your wages. So when you turn in the certified payroll, you want to make sure you let them know how much money you have as outstanding. If you're going to be 45 days late or 60 days late on the fringe, you want to make sure they know about it. Okay? I'd definitely be honest and upfront about it to them. Next week we'll talk a little bit about that. Tom will go into some of the details on that. But basically, as a general contractor, you're completely responsible on that. So you need to make sure that you have systems in place to track that risk. Because if you don't track that risk, it can come back and get you. I've heard of several subcontractors going out of business here in the last 6 months. And this is leaving general contractors with some major concerns, okay, and some losses. So increasing cash flow is a good thing, but it also, as a general contractor, it creates risk. Because you could be done with your project, pay out all the money, and still be liable. So you want to make sure that before you send out that last check, that maybe it has to be a joint check. So part of it's going to cover the risk of the benefits, and then the part's to finish up the job. Okay. Increasing competitiveness. Matter of fact, next week Warren Carson's going to go through what SJ Jefferville, kind of the systems they go through to make sure that they're up to speed on that stuff. They go through it a little bit more in detail than most general contractors, so Warren will really do a good job on that. You can increase your competitiveness. Of course, when you get the work, that extra 7% could be a huge deal. Increasing profits. If you got the work, you would have profit, right? And then provide excellent benefits to employees. So it's amazing when you think about it, is that the benefit topic on prevailing wage can really help on different facets of your business. Reduce payroll tax, we talked about that, workers' comp and liability insurance. So there's a big deal with that. I put together a kind of a bid sheet. If you're currently paying in cash, ask me for it, I'll email it to you, but it's just a way of going down and trying to break down these numbers. If you've got a big job, call me up, I'll help you do it. Okay? So my name is Monty tonight. As I mentioned before, I do financial consulting. Really, I love this business. I like construction. I like contractors. I think you guys take an extreme amount of risk and entrepreneurship to do what you do. And that's why we're here. We're here to help support you guys and give you tools and ideas on how to be more successful. So by all means, next week we have another workshop. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about certain things. But if you have any questions, please give me a call. Give Jaden a call, and then next, Marcia's going to wrap this stuff up. Because if you don't have the office staff to be able to administer public works efficiently, you have to think twice about bidding on it. Because I've seen contractors who go out and bid on it, and all of a sudden their office staff has no idea about payroll. They have no idea how to process the information. And then the owner says, oh, we need your benefit plan. It's to save you money. Let's do that. And all of a sudden, they dump all this stuff on somebody that has no idea what to do with it. And it becomes a mess. You want to make sure there's a system in place. You want to make sure they're taking credit correctly for the taxes. Because if not, that stuff's going to come back and get you. So you have to think about that. Marcia's going to talk now about just the systems on how to do that and some efficiencies. Okay.